When was the last time you stopped, really stopped, and asked yourself what still makes sense in my life? At 70, a lot changes. The pace slows, silence becomes more present, but the heart remains full of stories, dreams, and often unanswered questions. In this video, you'll discover what truly matters at this stage of life. Together, we'll reflect, through real stories and soul-stirring messages, on the 12 pillars that can completely transform how you see your days, your family, your past, and even your future. This isn't just another video. It's an invitation to see life through different eyes, through the eyes of maturity, wisdom, and a soul that still beats strong. Stay with me until the end, and prepare to be moved. Because sometimes a single reflection can change everything. Health, the true treasure. At 70, health is no longer just a detail. It becomes the center of everything. When we're young, we think we're invincible. We pull all-nighters, ignore, and eat whatever we want and abuse time and energy as if they were infinite. But the body, oh, the body is wise. It remembers every choice, every excess, every neglect. And then, one day, it speaks, sometimes through an unexpected diagnosis, sometimes through the simple exhaustion of climbing stairs, sometimes through a pain that refuses to go away. That's what happened to Donna Teresa, 74. For decades, she took care of everyone and except herself. Her husband, children, grandchildren. They all came first. Until her heart, the very one that had loved so much, needed attention. Scare, a hospital stay, and then a decision. Now, it's my turn. Teresa started walking every day. She learned to say no when needed. She rediscovered the joy of preparing a light, colorful meal. She found balance again. And now, with her silver hair blowing in the wind, she smiles and says, "Life has taught me that taking care of myself is also an act of love." Then there's the story of Jorge, 79, who was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. At first, fear paralyzed him. Is it too late? But instead of giving up, he chose to fight. With medical help and small steps, he lost weight, adjusted his diet, and returned to simple activities like stretching and ballroom dancing. It's not about being young again, he says. It's about living well right now. These stories show us that health isn't just the absence of illness. It's the presence of life. It's having the energy to hug a grandchild. It's waking up without pain. It's being able to take a deep breath, filled with peace, gratitude, and the will to live another day. Whether you're 70, 80, or older, it doesn't matter. Your body still listens. It still responds. It still thanks you for every bit of care. Walking, drinking water, laughing more, sleeping well. Every simple choice is a way of saying, I still matter to myself. Health is indeed the true treasure. And the best news? It's never too late to start valuing it. Family, the pillar of existence. As the years pass, many things lose their shine. Objects become just objects. Titles, achievements, status, it all fades with time. But there's one thing that, unlike everything else, only grows in value over the years: family. At 70, family is no longer just a circle of people. It becomes the foundation of the soul. It's where we see the continuation of our story. In our children's eyes, our own youth. In our grandchildren's steps, our hope. In a sibling's embrace, the living memory of days gone by. But the truth is, over the years, bonds don't always stay strong. We drift apart because of pride, unspoken words, old resentments. And it's only when time starts slipping through our fingers that we realize holding onto grudges isn't worth it. That's what happened to Donna Lucia, 76. She hadn't spoken to her eldest son in nearly a decade. The distance grew after a family fight. Harsh words were exchanged and the years passed as if time were endless. But one lonely Christmas, with his chair empty at the table, she understood. She called, asked for forgiveness, cried, and so did he. Today they both say they wasted time, but never lost the love. Then there's Seu Alvaro, 82, a widower living alone. He said he was fine, but the silence was heavy. until his granddaughter, Marina, started visiting every Saturday afternoon. Together they drank coffee, talked about school, and he told stories about the war, the countryside, his first love. She smiled. He relived. Now, Alvaro says his granddaughter gave him back his joy for life. That's what family is, he says. Having someone to look forward to on the weekend. Time doesn't wait, and no one wants to reach the end of life filled with regrets over words left unsaid or moments unlived. If something needs fixing, fix it. If something needs forgiving, then forgive. If something needs saying, and say it now. Family is imperfect, yes, but it's irreplaceable. It's our starting point and our safe harbor. And when everything feels uncertain, when the body weakens, when the days grow longer, it's a child's hug, a grandchild's smile, a sibling's call that reminds us, you're not alone. Time, the true wealth. When we're young, time feels endless. We rush, we hurry. We believe there will always be a tomorrow, but when old age arrives, quiet and wise, it teaches us something powerful. Time is the most precious thing we own. Money comes and goes. Objects can be replaced. But time only moves forward, and every minute lived is a page written that can't be erased. Donna Irene, 81, used to say she spent her life saving the best for later. She saved the nice dishes for a special occasion, the colorful dresses for a party that never came, the words of love for when she had more time. Now she uses the good dishes every Sunday, wears bright red just to go to the bakery, and says, I love you whenever she feels it. Time teaches us there's no perfect moment, there's only now. And those who learn to honor the present discover beauty even in ordinary days. Sohelio, 77, worked non-stop. He was a respected, successful businessman, but when he retired, he realized something shocking. He didn't know how to enjoy a Sunday. He couldn't remember the last time he laughed with his kids. I spent my strongest years making money. Now I spend my time trying to recover the moments I lost. We're not here to regret. We're here to wake up. If you're still breathing, there's still time to live what matters. The simple, the real, the things money can't buy. Walk outside. Write a letter, listen to an old song, hug someone for more than 10 seconds, savor the smell of coffee, the sound of rain. Time is in the small things, and in them lies the greatness of life. Because in the end, and those who've lived know this, what we take with us isn't possessions, diplomas, or bank accounts. It's the moments, the eyes that smiled back at ours, the long conversations, the shared silences. And you? What have you been doing with your time? Because maybe there's still so much life waiting to be lived. True friendships, bonds that heal. They say friends are the family we get to choose. And with time, that saying stops being a cliche and becomes a profound truth. Because in old age, when responsibilities lessen, when children go their own way, when the silence at home grows more frequent, it's true friendships that fill the heart and keep the soul alive. Donna Estela, 74, lost her husband early. For a while, she believed she'd never smile again, until an old friend from her youth reached out. After 30 years without contact, she didn't bring me solutions, Estela said, but she brought me companionship, and that healed me. Friendship in later years doesn't need grand gestures. A phone call, a note, a simple, let's grab coffee. Small acts that say, I care about you. Mr. Roberto, 79, joined a walking group after retiring. At first, it was just for exercise, but over time, he found something even more precious. Companions. For the journey, people with whom he shares stories, sorrows, and memories. They remind me I still belong somewhere, he says, that I'm still heard, still have something to share. True friendship doesn't demand daily presence. It's built on connection, on care, on remembrance. In old age, many face grief, loneliness, isolation. But a friend, even just one, can be the antidote. Because a friend listens without judgment, sees you as you are, not as age defines you, stays when everyone else has gone. If you have a true friend, cherish them. Call today, send a note, and if you feel alone, remember, it's never too late to make a new friend. Never too late to open your heart again. Sometimes the healing we seek in medicine, pills, or advice lies in the simple presence of someone walking beside us. Because life feels lighter when shared, and at 70, 80, or 90, the gift of a sincere friendship may be what gives our days meaning. Purpose, the flame that still burns. Many believe retirement means life's purpose ends, that we've done all there is to do. But that isn't true. Those who've reached 70 know the flame of purpose never dies. It simply changes form. Dona Nair, 76, spent her life as a teacher. After retiring, she felt empty until she began teaching literacy to adults in her community. She says she's never felt more alive. Watching someone learn to write their name at 60, it's like lighting a lamp. And that light ignites something in me too. Purpose at this stage doesn't need to be grand. It doesn't need spotlights or medals. Sometimes it lives in tending a garden, in loving your grandchildren, in quietly supporting someone who needs to hear, "You can do this." Mr. Vicente, 80, lost his wife after 50 years of marriage. Grief nearly paralyzed him, until he found new purpose writing encouraging letters to lonely seniors. Each week he sends hope-filled notes and heartwarming stories. As long as my words can ease someone's pain, I'm still fulfilling my role. Purpose has no age limit. It only requires willingness, an open heart, and eyes that find meaning in the simplest things. You might wonder, but what can I do now? The answer may lie in what makes you smile, what moves you, what stirs your soul. Maybe it's the crochet you craft with care, the cake only you bake just right, the hug only you give in that special way. When we realize purpose isn't about productivity but significance, we see each day as a chance to leave a mark, a word, a gesture, a memory. The flame still burns within you, no matter your age. As long as you live, there's still much to give and much to discover. Gratitude, the antidote to bitterness. There comes a time in life when losses pile up, friends who are gone, a body that no longer responds as it once did, situations beyond our control. Faced with this, it's easy to let bitterness take hold, but there is a remedy. Simple, quiet, and powerful. Gratitude. Dona Celina, 82, says she spent years trapped in the pains of the past, the longing for her husband, old family resentments. Then, encouraged by her granddaughter, she started a gratitude journal. Every week, she wrote down 3 things she was thankful for. At first it was hard, but over time she began to see beauty in birdsong, the smell of coffee, the simple fact of opening her eyes each morning. Life didn't get easier, she says, but it got lighter. Gratitude doesn't ignore pain. It simply reminds us that even in the storm, small flowers still bloom. Seu Jorge, 77, has undergone 3 surgeries in recent years. Yet despite the pain, he gives thanks for every kind nurse, every visit from his grandson, every breath taken in the open air. I've lost much, but not the ability to see what remains. Gratitude is a practice, a daily discipline. It doesn't demand grand achievements, just presence, attentive eyes, an open heart. Because when we choose thankfulness, even for small things, we build armor against bitterness. The soul renews itself. The heart grows warm. Life regains its color. You might think, I don't have much to be grateful for. But try looking differently. A kind gesture, a fond memory, a song that moves you. These too are life. These too are miracles. Gratitude doesn't change what happened, but it transforms how we feel. And at 70, 80, or beyond, it teaches us that despite everything, life is still worth living. Time. The value of well-lived hours. When we're young, time feels infinite. Days rush by unnoticed, but as years accumulate, our perception shifts. Time stops being just passage and becomes value. Donna Teresa, 74, says she spent decades racing against time. Work, home, children, obligations. Now she says with serenity, I don't run anymore, I walk. and notice every detail. Minutes lived with attention carry more meaning. Meal with grandchildren, an unhurried conversation with a friend, a quiet afternoon watering the garden. It's not about having more time. It's about feeling each moment more deeply. Many of us carry regrets. I should have traveled more. I should have said, I love you. I should have lived more lightly. But what's past won't return. All we have is now, and now can hold more depth than all the years gone by. Seu Armando, 79, decided he'd waste no more time on resentment. He called his brother after 20 years of silence. They wept, made peace. Now they share coffee every Sunday. Time isn't the enemy. It's a silent teacher, showing us what matters isn't the quantity of hours, but what we do with them. One well-lived hour outweighs empty days. A heartfelt embrace, a handwritten letter, a smile given with the soul. Perhaps today is the day to slow down, to savor afternoon coffees, shared silences, simple laughter with fuller presence. Because in the end, the most precious time is what we give to those we love and what truly matters. Time does pass, yes, but the memories we build, those endure, and they're what walk with us to the very end. Simplicity, life's true wealth. When we're young, we chase so much. Bigger houses, nicer cars, fashionable clothes, recognition. But time, time teaches us that true wealth isn't found in what we can buy, but in what we can feel. Simplicity, often overlooked, is a hidden treasure. It lives in the smell of baking bread, on a park bench under a tree's shade, in the joy of watching a child play barefoot. Mr. Milton, 76, spent decades chasing the world. He worked tirelessly, accumulated possessions, yet inside, he felt empty. I only understood life's value when I began losing what money can't buy: time, health, and peace, he says with misty eyes. Now he lives in a small, simple home, grows his own vegetables, reads in the evening and writes letters by hand, and declares with pride, I've never been richer. Because simplicity liberates, it frees us from excess, from hurry, from appearances, and brings us back to what matters: the taste of food made with care, the scent of approaching rain, the sound of genuine laughter. Life doesn't need complexity to be grand. Sometimes less is more. Less noise, more quiet. Fewer things, more experiences. Less rushing, more presence. It's in this calmer rhythm that we discover what truly counts. A lingering hug, a glance that says everything, an ordinary day lived with love. True wealth isn't measured in numbers, but in how often the heart smiles quietly, in the peace of lying down at night with a light soul, in looking around with gratitude and realizing, I have everything I need. Friendship, bonds time can't break. Many people pass through our lives, some stay a while, others leave without warning. But there are those who remain despite distance, years, and change. True friendship doesn't depend on constant contact. It withstands, and sometimes reappears when least expected, like a flame that never died. Donna Lourdes, 381, reunited with her childhood best friend after 45 years apart. Living in different cities, they'd lost touch, until chance, or fate, brought them together in a pharmacy line. It was as if no time had passed, Lourdes said through tears. They now talk daily, whispering to each other. Thank goodness time didn't take everything. Friendship takes new meaning later in life. It's no longer about weekly outings or daily visits. It's knowing someone understands you deeply, that someone cares, even in silence. It's shared memories, inside jokes and stories, needing no explanation. Friendship eases loneliness, heals old wounds, gives meaning to simple days. And even when loved ones depart, what was shared endures, because love between friends never dies. It echoes in memories, in songs, in photographs, and in how we speak of those who've gone. If you have a true friend, call them, send a message, share about your day, because while time passes, real friendship outlasts everything. And when life grows quiet in our final years, It's these voices that still echo within us. Purpose, feeling that you still matter. One of the greatest fears about aging isn't time, nor wrinkles, nor even the body's limitations. It's the feeling of no longer being needed, of no longer having a place in the world. But the truth is, as long as we breathe, there's always something to offer. Purpose doesn't need to be grand. It can live in small things, in advice given with care, in a smile shared with the baker, in a bedtime story told to a grandchild. Mr. Armando, 79, lost his wife and fell into deep sorrow. "I felt like life was over for me," he said. Until one day, visiting a community school, he was asked to tell stories to the children. There, before curious eyes and open hearts, he rediscovered meaning. He began to smile again, to live again. Purpose doesn't disappear with age. It transforms. If it was once raising children, now it might be inspiring grandchildren. If it was building a career, now it could be sharing wisdom. Feeling useful is nourishment for the soul. And when someone needs us, even just for silent listening, we feel alive again, because giving life meaning doesn't depend on youth. It depends on the heart. Some say old age is a time of waiting, but perhaps it's the time of giving, of purest generosity, of unhurried love, of wisdom shared with those who need it most. And in finding this place in the world, however quiet, we become whole again. If you feel you're no longer needed, remember, your mere existence transforms someone's world. You still matter. You still teach and you still inspire. Loss, learning to let go without losing yourself. At some point in life, we all lose something. A friend, a sibling, a love, a part of ourselves. By 70, these losses accumulate like marks etched on the heart, not open wounds, but scars that sometimes still ache. Learning to let go isn't forgetting, isn't pretending it didn't happen. It's accepting that the love shared remains even when the presence is gone. Donna Nair, 76, lost her husband after 52 years of marriage. She says she could barely get out of bed those first months. "I felt like half of me had gone with him," but gradually she found strength in notes he'd left around the house, in songs they'd listened to together, and in knowing he'd want her to keep going, smiling. Losing someone we love is like learning to walk in tight shoes. It hurts. It's uncomfortable, but you keep walking, because life, despite absence, insists on continuing. And every step taken with longing is also a tribute to those who've gone. Learning to cope with loss is discovering that love doesn't end. It just changes form and lives on. In words spoken, in shared memories, in gestures we repeat without realizing. Loss teaches that everything is temporary, but also reveals that what's real endures, and that even in pain we can still blossom. Because losing is also learning. To reinvent yourself, to find strength in fragility, to cherish every moment with those still beside you. If you're experiencing loss, breathe. Honor those who've gone by living with even more love, because that's how we keep our loved ones alive within us, by continuing and with courage and tenderness. Inner peace, the silence that embraces the soul. After so many struggles, so many victories, so many goodbyes and new beginnings, what the soul most desires is peace. No longer the restlessness of youth, nor the hustle of working years. Just the quiet that comes when we learn to live lightly, to accept what was and embrace what still is. Inner peace isn't found outside, not in possessions, titles, or recognition. It's born within, when the heart learns to grow still and the soul learns to listen. Donna Elsa at 82 shared, "My greatest joy now is waking early, hearing the birds and giving thanks. In that simple act lies immense wisdom, the understanding that tranquility lives not in answers, but in patiently accepting unanswered questions. Peace comes when we release what we can't control, when we forgive, ourselves included, when we smile at our reflection, not for its appearance but for the story it tells. Then we realize silence isn't emptiness, it's fullness of meaning. the space where we hear our essence. Inner peace is life embracing us, saying, "You made it this far." And it's okay. It's accepting we're imperfect, that we've erred, succeeded, loved, fallen, and kept going. It's finding beauty in stillness, knowing we need prove nothing more. That true worth lies in being, not just doing. At 70, 80, 90, the real achievement is this: living at peace with the past, with others, and most importantly, with oneself. Because ultimately, this quiet peace cradles the soul, reminding us that life, even in its simplest days, remains a gift when life teaches what matters. After all we've explored, one question lingers: what truly matters? When days grow longer but the heart beats stronger. It's health allowing us dignity, family embracing us in silence, friendship enduring time's test, peace found through forgiveness, and love, for life, for self, for moments once overlooked. At 70, 80, 90, we learn urgency was just haste. That burdens can be laid down, and true happiness lives in simplicity only mature eyes perceive. It's not too late to begin anew, not too late to forgive, not too late to say I love you. Not too late to fully live what remains. If you've watched this far, something in you still grows even with silver hair, and that's beautiful. May this video have touched your heart. May these stories whispered hope, courage, and reminders of life yet to live, because ultimately, we take no possessions, titles, or certainties. We take the love we've shared, the memories made, the lessons learned. Life need not be long if deeply felt. If this message moved you, share it with someone you love. Comment below about what touched you most, and remember, you're still the author of your story. Until next time, with wisdom, with care, and with purpose.